So hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and one of the most awaited electric car reviews of the year already is finally on my channel. What I have here are the new Tesla Model 3 Highland models. What I have here specifically is the standard range variant, and this white one over here is the long range variant. Well, technically all the specifications, regarding to the interior, the systems, everything is the same. Only differences are, hence the variant names, are the battery sizes and the ranges itself. So before we continue on with the review, I'd like to thank everyone here again at EcoMax Philippines. I just did a Model Y review. Check that out on my channel. So I'd like to thank my sponsor for today too, Apex Racing Philippines. So they just provided me their most of flagship products. So we have the CRP pedals, the RS V2 steering wheel, and the wheelbase. Check them out what I've done already on my channel regarding with more racing content. So back here with this Tesla Model 3, so this looks much better and much more aggressive, I have to say, compared with the pre-facelift model. No offense though, the pre-facelift wasn't a part of my taste, but it's part of the Tesla design language anyway. Call me crazy too, this has a little bit more cues like that of the Aston Martin Vantage. I mean, the headlights alone are the standout here at front. And two, unlike with the pre-facelift model, there's no more fog lamps here below whatsoever. Everything now is here in one area only, and everything as usual are all LEDs. And then here too on the side you have your LED repeaters along too with your side cameras on either side too. And ground clearance is 138 millimeters, which is around 5 to 8 millimeters more than the previous model, because the pre-facelift model didn't even fit how I measure ground clearance in any vehicles. And as well, being the cleaner look of this facelift model now, there's only one slot here for cooling the motors itself. And to powering this Model 3, well, this is already an Ultra. Well, since all of the batteries are stored underneath the vehicle already, yet again as well, you have to open all boots, and the charging port is all done in the infotainment system. That means there is nothing underneath here in the front boot of this Model 3. This is around less than 40 liters. This is much less than that of the Model Y. But make no mistake, this is still pretty spacious because this is not a crossover SUV. This is a sedan. And like too with the Model Y, you have the tow hitch too here with the Tesla logo itself. And compared to with the pre-facelift model, this boot is much taller, and to the hood from here all the way to the dashboard is much longer as well itself too. So being the Highland model, well, there's a lot more changes than usual. Dang it. So here in the side profile of this Tesla Model 3, this is much better than the pre-facelift model. And like with the Model Y, you have cameras here on the B pillar and as well on the rear. And for the eagle eye viewer out there, so this specific run are running on 18-inch wheels on Michelin E-Primacy tires, but you can option the 19-inch wheels, which is actually the one right beside me. The wheels look a bit bigger than usual since there's a lot of plastic around them, but they are running on Hankook ion tires compared to this Michelin, weirdly. So here overall at the rear now of this Model 3, this looks way better than the pre-facelift model. And you have similar looking taillights, but unlike the pre-facelift model, this is now one whole piece. There's no more like cut here in the middle. I really dig this rear of this Model 3. Just looks so sexy. And remember, the launch color of this is this exact color, ultra red. That's why I picked this color than the, no offense, boring white, but the white itself looks pretty good too. And you get the regular Tesla word logo over here compared with just the T logo like in the Model Y. So open the boot up. Look at that. It's one whole piece yet again. And total space here, even with the underfloor storage, this one is at 425 liters, which is pretty decent. It's almost as close, well, to the non-electric vehicle European counterparts. You can go all the way inside, and as well there just so now you have two LED lights just inside too. And yeah, there's no spare tire whatsoever. But again, I think those are running on run flats anyway. And now, biggest talking point for all Tesla vehicles is the charging times. So As well, this standard range is running on a 54 kilowatt hour battery with a total range of 606 kilometers. Now we move on to the long range variant that has a much bigger 75 kilowatt hour battery with a range of 713 kilometers, which is pretty epic for what electric cars nowadays. And charging times for both vehicles, surprisingly, so it may depend too on the driving conditions itself. So for the slow charging, from 20 to 80%, it may take around 6 to 8 hours, and for the fast charging, it will take less than an hour. And performance times, of course, it's night and day. So this standard range rear-wheel drive model can go to 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.1 seconds, and for the long range variant, it will take an immense 4.4 seconds. So that's about it here with the exterior, the charging port, and the boot of this Model 3 models. Again, let's check out the interior. And yet again, how to close the charging port, you have to do it again in the infotainment system. There we go, it's closed. So this is the interior of the Model 3 standard range, the same like with the long range van, but these have white seats compared to the black of the long range. So if you're a bit OC of getting your seats quite dirty, yeah, you can option the seat colors at least. So yeah, there's a lot of changes here in the interior, but Tesla still chose the minimalist approach like with the pre-facelift model, but a lot of stuff have improved here. So here in the door card, you have ambient lights now and soft pads everywhere, even below the door card, which is pretty amazing. And you have LED lights at the cubby spaces, and there's this weird part here or latch, I don't know what it is for. Let me know in the comments down below. And again, like with the Model Y and the pre-facelift Model 3, you have acoustic glass, well, aka double glazing, to minimize noise getting into the cabin. There's classical music playing, so if I close it now, whoa, that's crazy. You don't even hear it that much. I love this interior of the new Model 3. I mean, yes, you still have the large screen over here, but still, I got used already with the Tesla ecosystem already. So, I got nothing much to complain about. Okay, one honest thing I found really weird as a driver myself, there's no more stalks behind the wheel. So, they're all controlled now. Here in the steering wheel itself, their buttons itself, it's very crazy. You have your indicator and your light control functions here on the left side, and on the right side you have your cruise control, your camera buttons, and wiper functions here too. And speaking of, you have your 360-degree camera yet again. It's more or less the same like with the Model 3 pre-facelift model, but then again, it's still a very good system. And biggest highlight and change here now with the Model 3, you have ambient lighting all around the vehicle that stretches even all the way to the dashboard. And there's a new part here too in the controls here. So you have these lights now, and you can choose whatever you want for the lights itself. And of course, being me, I just left it in color red. And the same gubbins here for the infotainment system. So to open the lights, so on and so forth. Even your glove box, again, so open it up, it's kind of small, so you have again your flash drive in there along with an LED light. And like my complaint with the pre-facelift model, you have to close the glove box manually, but that's just a very small nitpick of mine only. And going back here, everything yet again has to be controlled here in the infotainment system, from your pedals, your steering, your charging, your autopilot, so on and so forth. And navigation too, just as good as before. Remember, the maps just haven't been loaded since there was no phone connected to this vehicle yet. And speaking of, so below the infotainment system, you have cubby spaces and a wireless charging pad. And first time encountering this is your Tesla key card. Yeah, this is literally the key for your car. Coming from the Model Y, there's a driver's stalk over here on the right side. But I was wondering, how do you move this car forwards and backwards? So I pressed on the brake, and this is what it says. So you have to put the key card on the left side of the phone tray. That's how you propel this car forwards and backwards. So that's why the key was placed here in the first place, just in case. I mean, I don't want to have an accident here in the showroom. And here, back in the dashboard, everything is soft, squeegee material, even this nice gray cloth material. Going back to this steering wheel, this is the chunkiest, meatiest steering wheel I've ever encountered in any vehicle. And was really hard, but surprisingly still nice to the touch. I almost died there. Anyways, and like with the rest of the Tesla models, to control the telescopic function, it's again operated here. So do it here in this infotainment system, and there you go. So moving up and down is pretty quick, but moving forwards and backwards is kind of slow. Okay, there, see? Anyway, I don't mind that already, since again I've ridden in many Tesla vehicles already. Then here again for your air conditioning system, pretty much the same like with the Model Y, pretty responsive. You have your phone connectivity over here, your dash cam, you have your defrosting function, and then heated seats and steering functions over here, along too with extra wipers over here, even though you can operate it here in the main car functions. You have again my favorite features here, your arcade, so you can play games here yet again if you want, and you have your toy box function. It is my duty. And finally, that was a long one. And finally, what I did not demo in the older Model 3 and the Model Y. So, since this does not have Falcon doors like with the Model X, so how will this perform a light show? Watch this. What the? Here in the center console itself, open this tray up, you have a decent amount of space along to with a 12-volt socket. And I cannot find any two USB-C ports like in the Model Y, which is located somewhere here inside. So let me know in the comments down below on where it is located. I really cannot find it in here. Open this up, you have two cup holders, and then center console box, it's run in leather, and then you have a felt storage area now for your coins, and then way further down you have a very large space along to with an LED light. And then seats over here, a big highlight for me, they're all white, even though it's not my taste because it might get dirty pretty easily, but it's still very soft to sit in. And again, more on the sportier side of things, you can adjust your lumbar, your height, so on and so forth, as I demoed earlier. Yeah, this is pretty good. So I don't think, there's no lumbar support function sadly for the right front passenger seat. And another update too with this Model 3, above here you have the same light controls and your hazard buttons, but there are touch sensitive now. There's no more physical button whatsoever. And then visor, you have the magnetized cover for the vanity mirror along to with LED lights, and this is a Tesla. Extends very good. And unlike the previous Model 3, which has a one whole piece for the sunroof, now this one's a split type, which is pretty good. And at least there's a cover over here. And yeah, going back to the dashboard, I just noticed right now, you have a very large A-pillar, and the dashboard is set lower than usual, so it kind of feel like you're driving a crossover rather than a sedan. Yeah, again, because of the seating position and the very low dashboard. So yeah, it gives a very commanding position, I must say. So yeah, that's about here in front of this new Model 3. Let's check out the rear seats. So these are the rear seats of the new Model 3. So there's a lot more changes here now than usual compared with the pre-facelift model. So here in the door cards, pretty much the same like the ones in front. But this time now, you have double glazing windows here too at the rear. That's to improve the NVH overall here in the rear cabin. And two, the rear moonroof too has been double glazed as well. Well, you can feel the difference. I mean, hear the difference. Wow, yeah, that's improved from before. I mean, from the older Model 3. So, I mean, you can't hear the music anymore here at the rear. So, one honest complaint only for me here with this Model 3. Yes, you have the very nice moonroof over here, along with the cover. You have your touch-sensitive lights again here. Like with the previous one, you have the coat hanger here, but this has a moonroof cover. So yeah, that's the only bad thing I found here at the rear. So again, we have 2 map pockets behind both front seats. And finally, this is the biggest change here in the middle. You have still the air conditioning vents and 2 USB-C ports. But finally, you have now a rear screen over here, which was not present in the pre-facelift model. And you can do a lot of stuff for your Bluetooth, your air conditioning vents, so on and so forth. And another complaint I just found now, there's no rear center armrest, sadly. But if I sit here in the middle, no transmission tunnel, everything's flat here on the floor. Okay, a little bit stiffer than in the left and right side of the seat, but okay, still comfortable nevertheless. At least you can fit 3 or even 5 people of my size. I remember I'm 5'4" and I'm a very skinny dude. And speaking of space, here in the back is actually still pretty good. Feet room and body room. I can stretch my head all the way forward. And headroom though, yeah, despite the moonroof, so for me. So I think around 5'7" would be the maximum height here in the rear seats. So yeah, that's about here with this Model 3 Highland. This is much better than the one before. Of course, everything, there's a lot more improvements here and there, and the quality as well. And let's not forget the looks of this. This is so much sexier than the older Model 3. So if you want to know more about this Model 3, so I highly suggest you may visit here at Ecomax Philippines, which houses the most amount of Teslas I've seen here. And they just literally brought in this all new Model 3 Highland facelift model. So I'd like to thank everyone here again, to Sir Mark and to Miss Tix for making this walk-around review possible. And hopefully there will be more Tesla reviews coming up right on my channel. And I'd like to thank again my sponsor for today, Apex Racing Philippines, for making this all possible as well. So, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews and more electric and Tesla reviews coming right up. Bye-bye.